right. You are located in the Market District, Sakoto, and you arrived at one of the large skyscrapers. It shares the color of MMI, seems to be a building of theirs. You go in and the main lobby is very empty, save for a few trolley boys and maids wandering about. There's a man in a top hat that waves you over to an elevator and inducts you inside. The elevator takes you all the way to the top of the skyscraper and opens up into a luxurious penthouse of some sort. You may go cards up. Waveful.
Ohio. Ohio. Stay as calm as possible. Okay.
I was worried I'd be alone for tonight. No one to talk to.
That does not happen too often.
I admit it doesn't, but on rare occasions it does. My friends are rather busy.
Oh,
How are you doing, darling?
wow. Today was a quiet day.
Quiet. Good. Day off for you?
Yes, was very busy yesterday.
Good. I'm glad. Boring days are very much needed to decompress.
I would have to agree. It was nice. I hope the same for you.
Thank you,
Very,
darling.
very busy as ever.
If only I could have more days like this. Then I could speak to you more, and all the others I've befriended these last few years.
I see. This is your home. You have multiple.
One of them, yes. This is the penthouse I use to stop on by in case I don't want to travel all the way home. It's quite the chore to go through so many levels. Yes.
It is very nice.
Please make yourself at home, darling.
Yes. Oh.
Champagne. Have you had it before?
I don't know what that is.
You don't know what champagne is?
No, I think I might have heard the word once. Sorry, common is not... I am not the best with it.
It is a fancy form of sake.
Oh, I see. Ah,
Quite rich. I won't give you a lot. I don't want you passing out. Nor do I think you want to stay
if
the
it
night.
is like sake, I cannot drink alcohol, especially as of now.
Why ever not?
New job.
New job?
Just started yesterday. Was why I was so
Darling,
busy.
you're already employed.
Wow.
Why do you need a second?
More to do something and finish something I started a long time ago. I work at a shrine. It's not a job to me, I guess, but it's technically a job.
Ah, I see.
But my work requires that I do not drink things like alcohol and such.
Any food you can't eat?
Not that I can think of, no. I suppose things that might have alcohol in it, but...
Well, don't I look like the fool? Inviting you over here for champagne, not knowing you can't partake anymore.
It is okay. It is a common thing. I work with people at a bar, so, you know.
Fair enough. 3 jobs, Sakoto. Ages. Me track and now a shrine.
It keeps me very busy now. But it's important to me.
Careful not to overwork yourself, dear.
I
want
don't
you
think
collapsing.
I will be doing anything else. Thankfully, shrine work is quite simple.
Then you don't mind if I drink in your stead?
Of course not.
We have sushi if you're hungry.
You contact me on such short notice. I was not really hungry.
That is fine, dear. Merely a formality for all guests here. Food is always ready for my arrival.
You have someone who prepares it for you?
Dozens, yes. Best cooks in the city.
I see. Very nice music.
Thank you. One of the few soundtracks I enjoy, have for many years. A classic.
It's very calming. Sounds almost sad in a way.
It is. The album is about the vanishing of one's existence and memory. You can interpret it in different ways. Growing old, senile, or perhaps just forgetting long past memories and friends.
Suppose you have a lot of old friends you perhaps still remember? Perhaps family?
Yes. Blood relatives, no. I've left them behind, and for good reason. for both of us.
Mm.
I think I've told you before, my family and I don't get along quite well. But I've made a new one here.
Mm.
And I've seen many come and go.
I suppose I can understand leaving home and having to find a new family.
You are far from home, aren't you?
Hmm. Hmm.
Did you come alone?
Yes, I did. Well, after what happened
How
last
old
time.
were you, darling?
Or... Ah. Oh, sorry. I was about 14 when that happened.
So young.
I did not really want to leave. There was a lot of anger and fear. If anything, I think those who were still left sent me away. Many of them did not wish to talk to me.
We have a similar relationship with our families, then. Anger and fear. Powerful emotions.
They can be. But, I suppose I am happy where I am now. Although, I suppose I could ask you the same question everyone always seems to ask me. Do you ever think of trying to return home?
I dream of it. Sometimes. Going back there to brag about my accomplishments and changes I've made here. Prove my worth to the folks who were so disappointed in my revelation as a youngster.
Revelation? You have an idea?
Yes.
You had an idea that was so against them that they sent you away?
Against them, yes. However, they did not cast me out. I did so myself. You could say I ran away from home.
I see. But if you are happy with your home, why leave? I know if I could have stayed in my home, I would have. But I was not given a choice. You had a choice. Or was this idea so much more?
I was not. I was not happy. That is why I left.
Ah. Very different situation then.
I dream of returning only to prove to my family. But I would not stay. I guess it is some sort of vengeance, perhaps, or vendetta, that would draw me back there.
A desire to prove them wrong.
Precisely.
This I can understand. I suppose it's one of the few reasons I wish to maybe one day return home myself. I have no other
To
family,
do just that?
and what friends I did have are either gone or on. So there is not much left there for me.
Understandable. Homes can be destroyed, can't they? And it is up to us to make new ones, wherever we go. And I think you've succeeded. Most fabulously. From an out-of-window perspective, I'm not as close as I am to you as your friends.
It took a while, but I am quite happy where I am now.
I am envious of you, Sakoto, of Aegis, of the meat track, and other communities with such close bonds. Not of blood, but of companionship. Through either self-suffering or time.
What has stopped you from finding something like this for yourself? You seem to have a beautiful home, and you have many people you call friends.
They are family. At least I like to think of them as such. However, I am also a businessman, and I can't help but think that they are merely yes men to me, agreeing to stay productive and employed in my good graces, for example.
I see. Then their friendship is not true. It is only until they have what they want.
A false truth, maybe. These dreadful subjects keep me up at night, I swear. I have much more prudent things to worry about than what-ifs.
Like what?
I'm sure you've heard the news.
I heard, but you denied what they said. And what they said seemed rather far-fetched.
Very far-fetched. But I did admit there was some truth in it. It was a theater act, a pleasurable vacation that I won. And thoroughly enjoyed. Playing the act of such a devious character in the moment. Brought me excitement. Don't you get bored sometimes, Sakoto? Wanting to change, do something drastically different than the norm?
I suppose change is a good thing sometimes. Scary, but good. Learning about myself, trying to understand what I am and who I am now. It was scary, but over time, improving oneself, through being patient with myself, has led to a lot of good things.
Well said.
Yeah.
It was a half-truth. It is fully a defamation case. They wish to tarnish what I cherish most. My reputation. It's not the first example. One of such regard is quite susceptible to such acts of self-face violence. After all, one's reputation is everything. Wouldn't you agree?
I suppose. I saw some of the things that people were saying on my phone. It was... well, some of it seemed like noise. None of it making much sense or having much meaning behind the words. Just shouting. Didn't like it.
People are angry. I understand. There's a community uproar, the state of things of the city. I don't blame any one of them, and they are vocal minorities. Of course. There are hundreds and thousands who are quiet and content. But still, it does get under my skin. Knowing that you work day and night, almost every minute of your life, to help them. And they don't understand. They don't see the help you give them.
Sorry to hear that. Perhaps they should be more grateful.
They should, shouldn't they? How about you? Are you thanked often for your services? As security? As an Aegis agent?
I suppose enough to feel good about the work that I do, yes. But I don't necessarily do it to be thanked or to be liked. I work at Aegis because they gave me a home, and because what they're doing is the right thing to do. I have the ability to help people with all of this, so I suppose it makes sense to try to do something good about it. And then the meat track, I do it because I want to help Amski-san. He is important to me. He is like family, sometimes.
I see. You do not do it out of wanting to be thanked or liked. You care not for your reputation.
Not really. Not as important. That's why I work at that shrine. It's a good thing to do. And it feels good.
What blissful, sublime Sakoto. If I can speak, Sakoto. I've had a bit much to drink.
It is. I don't know. It's simple. And I like simple. I see a lot of people constantly worrying about things that are beyond their control. And it makes me sad. Sometimes I wish they could simply stop and listen for a little while. Or just breathe. What about you?
What about me?
With as busy as you are, do you often have time to stop and simply breathe? Or simply be? Feel the world around you?
Nights like this, I believe, I should take moments to breathe. But the heart of hearts inside me, I feel that I am always at work, always worrying about things such as this, worrying about the people, worrying about my goals, trials and tribulations.
Lotamsky's on this a while ago. And he has struggled to understand, but I think he's finally started to come around to the idea of it. But if you are constantly wearing yourself thin like paper, how will you help people when they need it most?
It is good to worry, but also take moments to yourself, lest you be detrimental to your own being. And that is what I believe I was doing in that charade. I was assured by my friend Ludric that it would be a night of relaxation, that I could ask for whatever I wanted, act whoever I wanted to act as, and most of all, rest, for if but a brief period of time, and not several weeks, perhaps a month or two later, I found that he betrayed me, that he let in little fleas to deface me, to record my moment of vulnerability, and to tarnish my name.
It is terrible behavior from someone who is claiming to be a friend. I'm sorry that happened to you.
I want to believe he was forced into it by whoever this was. But he has not returned my calls, nor the calls of my others. I fear the worst.
If he is being, how to say, pushed into this by someone who is holding something over his head. Maybe he simply cannot. I know he has many people who he is close to, his friends and family. Perhaps he is doing this to protect them. And someone else has hatred in their hearts for you. Sakama. I've heard of this. Maybe perhaps this.
That is what I hope, Sakoto. That he is being forced, blackmailed. He has openly conversed with me in public, but so have many more. You, for example, drawn my attention, even though you haven't wanted it. Who knows? Whoever these people are, they could target you next. I fear for you, Sakoto.
Try to keep safe. I know after, the last time I came and visited, there were a number of people asking me many questions and trying to get me to say things that, were not true. Was painful in a way, I guess. Having people constantly looking at you and believing that you have been made to do something or have been hurt when you haven't. Perhaps scared, yes, but not hurt.
I'm sorry this has happened to you.
It was an accident.
Such sour talk. Forgive me. I'll get over it, like I said. Not the first time, and I don't want to bring down your night. I will admit, I did call you here out of loneliness. But I do want to extend an hand again. Sakoto, you are a diamond in the rough. An uncut gem. A girl of potential. You know of what I speak?
Perhaps I don't quite understand. What exactly is it that you mean?
Besides your lovely personality, your powers, darling. I am your friend, Sakoto. And I want to help my friends. Would you give an old man an opportunity to prove himself beyond the rambunctious dinner we had last time with Habsky and Fable? I will admit by now that my actions there were adventurous. And though you did succeed with flying colors, I can understand your reluctance to be even in the same room with me. So, proves how brave you are. I'm not a villain, Sakoto. I'm not some slime, leader of a gang
Never want to think of it.
or criminal underworld. I'm merely a businessman.
But don't businessmen always sell things at a cost?
They do. Clever girl. Developing these powers would come at a cost. But the benefit would outweigh.
I guess it is always important to know what sort of cost you mean. As I have said before, I'm curious, but there is so many things that I have seen that can go wrong. Each time I experiment a little, I have to be very cautious. You are one of the few people who seems to know what they're talking about, which is why I've come to you in the past.
You will not find any other like me, dear.
I suppose you have my attention then.
Wonderful. Oh, I haven't taught someone in so long. You know what a mindscape is?
Yes. I've seen a few now.
Please, describe to me your knowledge of the mind, the deep recesses of consciousness. Describe to me your experiences. That way I may garner what stage I should start at.
The few that I have been in, this is a consistent thing, but, well, what I see is not always something that makes sense. Whether it is my own or someone else's, it is always built of the different memories and parts of someone's mind that I have, that they have seen. But it is rarely a place that they have ever been before. I see a mountain like my home. Others see a field of grass. But they are similar to places that they have already been or seen that were important to them. But then there are layers to it. You must go deeper to find what you are looking for sometimes. As deeper you go, sometimes it seems to start to get a bit strange. I tried to avoid going too far. I was warned perhaps this is dangerous.
Quite dangerous. Every person's mind is a labyrinth, as you've probably discovered. A world of its own.
Rooms filled with doors, sometimes that you can't even see.
Quite right. If you go too deep, you'll get lost.
I suppose then caution is good to be continuing to have.
Always caution. Sakoto. But at some point you will master these scapes and ways to manipulate these worlds.
I was warned to be careful when touching anything, that it can, how you say, affect someone in ways that you don't intend. The first time I was ever in one, I saw someone's memories, and though they were okay with me seeing them, they said do not touch. Because a touch could cause something to change that you don't intend to change.
They would be correct. Within these scapes of the mind, these worlds, every consciousness locks away certain important things to them. Core memories. For example, that are quite vulnerable to change. One of your talents, a psionic, very rare individual, can manipulate such things, not only in the physical world, using their powers, but they can change someone's mind, bend it to their will, fix a sour memory. It is how I developed the Severance program. It is a blend of science and magic.
Ah, I see. But you used what you found to understand what to change.
Yes.
Interesting. But these things that you change.
A binary. Go on.
If you change something once, can it be put back again? Say you make a mistake, change something you did not mean to.
I would be lying if I said yes. Once something is changed, it is irreversible. However, one can create an authentic replacement. One so alike the previous that it could be seen as even better. A true mask. A band-aid.
How does one do this? You say a true copy is impossible, but this mask.
Well, there are several forms and ways to do this. One of my caliber, I can create immersive examples. Mindscapes that are so real that even touch, smell, sight are authentic. One could get lost in such mindscapes quite easily, while their body decays. But their mind is elsewhere, traveled through a doorway to another world. I often have customers that come to me for funeral accommodations, before their death. I will put them into a immersive mindscape, and they will live on in that world for eternity. Then there are binary mindscapes, which is what you have described to me. These are fabrications of the mind that are easily created. Shards of memory, perhaps, where you can take someone in, but they are fully aware that they are in a mindscape. It is not as immersive or authentic. And it is quite easy to escape. Simply leave if you merely imagine it. What you, Hamsky, and Fable experienced was a immersive mindscape.
One that was created then.
Yes. Not of my making, but of a pet's. You see, they are lovely, beautiful creatures, but they have a habit of toying with their prey. I assure you, you were not prey that night. I would have stopped it before it got that far. But the sheer fact that you three escaped, my little puppy, proved to me that you are quite a talented and latent individual. Fable is, of course, a psionic and an amalgamation and plenty of other things. I don't know what he is these days. That boy sticks his nose into far too many things.
He's getting himself into trouble every time I see him, yes.
And as for Hamsky, his mind remained calm, focused, thanks to you. And all three of you came out of it unblemished.
I just tried to remember what Sensei had taught me, which was to make certain I am staying calm. If I panic, things will go bad. I taught him the same thing.
Izakaya, wise as always, he'd be quite right. If you are ever attacked and put into a deadly scenario, or perhaps lost your way in someone's mind, it is good to remain calm and focused and blend in, for someone's consciousness can retaliate and consume you.
Sakoto, a brief head pain, but it's gone as quickly as it came.
I think I experienced something like that one. Perhaps hooked a little too deep. There were other things inside someone's head. They were patrolling like guards. They reminded my friend that reminded him of people who had held him captive once in a prison.
very dangerous. Each mind very different. Each individual equally so. It took me decades before I was confident enough to create such a program for society. And still, there are accidents that happen.
I suppose I am glad then that I had people to at least give me advice, so I did not make any mistakes that could not be undone.
What sort of advice? Beyond your masters.
Just what I had told you before. To be careful of what I touch. To be careful of how deep I go.
Seems everyone's a experienced mind over these days.
Not so sure about that, but there are some things that do sort of make sense when you think about them. Messing around with someone's memories could change who a person is. I saw this happen once. Saw someone lose memories, and they suffered greatly for it. Yes. She gave up a very bad memory, and it drove her crazy. It took her weeks and weeks to recover.
Unfortunate. The mind is both the most powerful weapon and most fragile. Would you like to see an example?
Of what?
A creation. An escape of my own making. It will be binary. You will know you're there and may exit at any time. See the creation of it and how I apply and mold things.
I think this. Yes. I think this could help.
You will open the door.
By example, this should assist you. And you are beyond a infantile psionic. Dare I say, you are several years along from what I can see. And the reports. I've read them all. Quite talented on the missions you've gone.
Most of them don't require me to go into someone's head. Actually, I don't think any of them have.
I mean of the ones you've helped, Sakoto. Me with. such entities are volatile, especially to those like themselves.
I'm not quite sure what you mean.
I will not sugarcoat it, Sakoto. What you saw were experiments, worthy and worthwhile, for the betterment of society. Rats in cages. Some go awry, some don't make it, and others are used elsewhere. But they share a common attribute with people like us. They have a form of mastery of the mind. They see things differently, imagine things differently. And facing such creatures, Sakoto, will teach you new, brilliant things, latent abilities you do not know you have.
Suppose I am often willing to learn. That last
Wonderful.
creature we fought, though, I don't know what I learned. It was strange. Scary.
Which one?
The one I think we took to calling the Kraken. It was strange, it almost seemed as though it was looking for something. It was flying over the city. But I could never figure out what it was looking for.
It was looking for those like it. Looking for family.
How can you be so sure?
I cannot. I merely seek to understand. But that would be my guess. We have found that psionics are drawn to each other. In any shape and sizes, wherever they may come from.
Now that you mention it, yeah. The number of people I have met since beginning to learn to harness this power, who are also like this. It's strange. First I thought perhaps just a coincidence, but now it is seeming almost not predictable, but it is a pattern.
It is. And no coincidence. Let me show you. Our first lesson, then. Give me just a moment to prepare. I'll be back down.
Is everything alright up there?
Yeah, we're not in comms, right?
Mind
Yes. We are mind linked.
What?
Neko pulled me in.
Oh, okay.
That sharp pain.
Ah, okay.
Though for Sakoto, hearing Penny's voice would in her head would be a surprise, given that she didn't know.
I didn't realize. Thought it was a technical mistake. Finito?
Yeah.
Why are you in my head?
You reached out to me.
I don't think I did.
Wait, is this Malleus?
No.
Are you okay?
Yes, I'm fine. We were just talking. He stepped away for a moment. I thought I heard Kuragari's voice there for a moment, though. It said something about opening a door.
Yeah, she sort of says that all the time.
Yeah.
But I'm down across the street from the big entrance here. So if anything goes
Wait, you're
weird,
here?
yeah.
Okay, just be careful. He's not given any signs that something is wrong.
You're not in the kitchen, are you?
No. No, it's our living room.
Okay, good. If
This door will be different.
Okay, it was you.
Okay, that's why I felt weird.
Coming back.
She's here.
Hmm.
He's coming. Oh, okay. I'll wait
First
longer.
lesson, Sakoto. Water and mirrors are wonderful conduits. If you ever get a chance, bathe while jumping into the mind.
Okay. This seems almost similar to something I realized that moving through water makes it easier to find doors within the mind, but also water is. See.
Water has a effect. Submerging the body makes it quite easier. But one of your talents and mine, we have no need of it. But as you said, you found bodies of water in these mindscapes before.
Was able to find doors hidden in them.
Wonderful. And quite lucky.
It has helped a few times. We were not sure where to go, where to look. Could not find a door. Found one hidden in the water.
There can also be a way out. But something to realize is that If you are in a immersive mindscape, it will fool you into thinking that you are making an exit. It has occurred to me before. One particular mind that I acousted out of need. A fellow businessman who I was a rival with. His continued uncooperativeness would have endangered many people, so I was forced to change mind.
You sure that's the right thing to do, though?
It is better than assassinating him, or something like that.
I suppose, but I don't know. A lot of people are always looking at me and saying to the people I care about that I will change their minds, do things to them. It's frustrating. Do you have
It
this happen
is,
often as
isn't
well?
it? All the time.
Sorry to hear that.
It is the way of things. We have an advantage over the normal people.
I suppose, yes.
Come, let us begin. I hope you don't mind a little liquid.
No, but my friend does a lot, actually.
Your friend?
Yes.
What are their names?
We call them Iris.
Iris.
Yes.
Pretty name.
I don't believe it's, well, I know it's not their real name.
I sensed another for some time now. Quite rude of me, though, to ask about it.
We've been together for some time now.
Coexisting. I'm glad they have not attempted control.
We've talked about it.
They will help. If you can reason with them. And keep a healthy balance.
It's taken some time, but I think we've figured things out up to this point. I'm sorry, Iris. I have to tell him. He's going to keep asking.
I don't mind a little wetness.
Suppose it's deep enough? Not much of a swimmer, I'll warn you. Grew up on a mountain. you don't mind.
Of course.
Just taking the jacket off.
You can't swim, Sakoto.
No, I never really learned. I grew up on a mountain. Not many places to swim.
And no one's taught you since? No one in Zafira?
Not in Zafira. Not many good places to swim.
That you'd be right. Come by this IZCA sometime. They have a wonderful swimming program.
Heard some things about it, yeah.
Now, the reason we're in water is, as I said before, it will be easier for both of us.
Okay.
I will create a binary mindscape. You will observe the creation of it, and perhaps learn how to do as such.
Okay.
And then I want you to take me to one of your own.
Okay. Sure.
Create a door for me into your own mindscape. Is that acceptable?
I suppose so, yeah. That seems okay.
Wonderful. Take my hand, darling, and we'll begin. Breathe. Feel the water. And feel my pulse. My beating hearts. And soon enough, my mind. Sakoto will feel a hand reach out and grasp her mind gingerly, looking for a way in. The hand is like tentacles, long and wiry. And there are 3 eyes seeking entrance.
Okay.
Does she resist or let him in?
There is resistance and hesitance at first, but slowly but surely the guard lowers.
And soon enough, the fingers will begin to find their way in. Carefully. And the feeling of water will vanish. The sounds of Zafira will equally vanish. And the two will fall into a deep trance.
Got it.
And we shall swap worlds.
So would Penny feel the connection go away?
Hal,
Yes, Neko.
there was a mind link established between Kudagari, Penny, and Sakoto. Just letting you know and how you want to handle that with what's going on now.
A mind link. Was this established just now or prior?
While you were while you were talking.
Got it.
It's using the anchor Kudagari has in both Penny and Sakoto.
Gotcha. After you two.
Whoa. I would say for now, I'd assume that it's probably still there.
Okay, cool. So assuming that this is a normal mind link situation is gonna last seconds, so Penny will have no idea that y'all left.
Maybe.
Guess there's always a chance that since Malleus is in there now, she'll see. Oh wait.
I don't know what the music is in the world, but it's suitably spooky.
Delicious.
All right. So, the two will appear on a beach, and the world around them is crumbling, unrepairable. The waves slowly splash against the sand, distant fog. And there's a feeling of contempt. McKay's contempt. Dilapidated, isn't it?
Yes.
Worn and warped. Rudimentary job, I will say myself. Why do you think that is?
I'm not sure. Maybe it was rushed, or perhaps it was not put together with the right stuff.
It was not rushed. It had all the pieces. But it is the state of things. My mood. Were you expecting a marble palace, perhaps?
mirrors how you're feeling right now?
Yes. Broken and betrayed.
Sense and anger.
And anger. Yes.
Because they're not thankful.
Not of you. I have built Zafira for many years. Bettered it. Tried to, at least. And like waves wearing against stone, eventually I'll crumble. But I do not believe it can't be repaired. There is a doorway, after all.
There's more than one.
One dilapidated, broken. Nothing inside any longer. The other closed. And I don't have a key. All I can do is sit and watch from a television screen.
Suppose I am curious.
Good.
It's okay. You know, this sort of reminds me of the waterfront. Everything that happened just this year.
Oh, what a catastrophe. Very unfortunate. Needed or not, many lives were lost. Many people displaced. Do you agree it was needed? A sacrifice? That was worthwhile?
I believe it was, how you say, it was heavy-handed. There were a lot of people who were hurt who did not deserve it.
Hmm.
People who are just trying to survive.
Do you think they would have fallen prey to the plague? A worse fate than drowning?
Some of them, yes.
But not all.
No. I know a few people who escaped it. But they were forever
Hmm.
scarred by what happened.
I would agree. A very drastic decision made by an infant. None wiser. I'm sure she learned from it, though,
Hope she did.
as did everyone in the Water District. Through suffering, the people will rise. And I think that is what happened. The Mitrak, everyone else who flocks to the Water District. Survivors, all of them. They are better for it.
People who go through such
But
things
this is not
are made
the...
tough. But it doesn't necessarily mean that they are strong.
Yes. Being strong is another matter entirely. Have you experienced screens as well? In your deep dives?
Just the one?
Just the one.
Fableson did something strange with it. Kept telling me to flip the channels, and then he jumped right in.
Ah. So that is how you made it out. Very good.
I don't think I would have thought to do that on my own.
You humble yourself, Sakoto. I'm sure you would have figured it out. Just like any labyrinth, it's a puzzle. There's always a solution. How do you suppose I fix the outside? Give me your opinions. You're a stylish girl, sometimes. How should I decorate it?
Well, sealing up the cracks to keep out the water, the rain, and then perhaps helping them stand up tall and strong, and clearing out things that are broken and can no longer be used. And then brightening things up people can see. From there, maybe making a space for people to live. Helping people to see again. They'll want to see something nice. And, well, I suppose I'm not particularly fond of big gray buildings. It feels... what is the word? Imposing. Like something is looking down on you, rather than you simply living within a space. Being said,
I'll start with the cracks. Then, foundation. And then light things up. Give everyone a new perspective. Perhaps they can see the real picture. Very good, Sakoto.
it's funny, it's sort of like what Tamsuke-san was telling me. He wants to clean up the meat shack,
Oh,
clean up the streets. Keeps talking about wanting to bring culture. That way people feel more welcome.
that man is a terrible liar.
Huh?
I've asked him as such, and he plays it off as uncaring, like he doesn't want to be a leader. Little does he know, he is one. And he wants to do all these things for his people.
I think he wants to do it for others, but I think more than anything he wants it for himself. Keeps telling me about how he wants to live a normal life because that's not something he has ever been able to have in Zephyra. The constant threats, and things coming in and disrupting everyone. It is a scary city at times.
I've grown to like him. I've told him, but I think he ignores me. And I'll be honest, someone like him I wouldn't give an eye to. Usually. But he's proven his capability.
I think he is humble.
Humble Hemsky.
At least he has become humble. You know, when I first met him, he
Well.
kept telling me that he was a prestigious businessman who owned a bar
Really?
in a rundown street. I think it was more of a joke than anything, but it stuck with me. He felt he had a need to prove himself.
Prove himself further.
To others. He has come from a place that is very low, like you said yourself. You would never pay any attention to someone like him.
Thank you, Sakoto. I did not know this about him. Now, we have delayed enough. I will begin creating your image. Watch carefully. Before her, she would see a fixed city wall, a brilliant marble. The buildings no longer warped. No lights to be had, but the place alit nonetheless. Shall we go inside?
Sure.
Prepare your eyeballs, Sakoto. I believe I've made something beautiful. Thanks to you. Voila. It's rather empty.
Large but hollow. And of space. But not many people or things to see.
We have to fill it up then.
Hey, how?
This is a binary mindscape. A hollow one of my creation. However, we are linked currently. Each of our foot's in each other's yards. You can fill this grand hall up with what you see fit. Try whatever you want.
Okay. How do I do that, though? I just... think of something and...
Yes. Imagine something of your creation. Know it to be true. Embody it in your mind. Believe it fully. And it will manifest. You have manifested things before, haven't you? Whether by
Small
accident or not.
things. But... nothing large.
Start small, then. A chair, maybe.
Okay. Mm.
Focus. Imagine a chair. Your favorite one. Maybe the one you sit at the meat rack. Or the one in your room at Aegis. Or maybe one that you liked back home. Imagine the makeup of it. Was it wood? Was it iron?
Right, and now? You'll begin to imagine a small, rather weathered, wooden bench. Enough to sit maybe 3 people, at most 4. Like a park bench you would find anywhere. It's... has a sort of melancholy to it.
And out of the thin space, a bench will form. Slowly but surely, it will build itself. An arm, a leg, a seat. Like blocks upon blocks. And eventually the frame forms into a almost perfect form of what she has imagined. Ah, Sakoto! Open your eyes, dear. Look! Wonderful, dear. Wonderful. You don't mind if I sit in it, do you?
Go ahead, I suppose.
A little frail. But it looks the part. That's important. There's a sadness to it.
Hmm. I see this too.
Emotions help. Imagining such things with great memories and feelings attached to them will be much easier than just imagining a ball or a shape, a weapon, a book.
Things that you know well.
However, precisely. However, there will be a time when you can create from no memories at all.
Hmm.
How does your head feel?
Hmm. Tingly, I guess.
Good. Very good. Normally, the person to do this would be on their knees with a severe migraine from doing such as this. Their first time, of course. Natural. It means you are very talented and already have experience.
Hmm.
Create more. I will let you in. Create something larger. One of memory, one that you are intimate with.
Okay. I tried to think of something. Okay. Can do this.
What does she imagine?
This time, she imagines a large metal door. One that McKay has seen before. Probably is imagining it a bit larger than she herself actually has seen. But it is the doors at Aegis. Dark bluish metal. Standing tall and strong.
This time, instead of building itself, it seems to materialize in a purplish hue. The colors vibrate in between green, yellow, orange. and soon enough the door forms, but it does not seem to be the color it's supposed to be. It is a rainbowish, prismatic-like collage of colors.
This
Oh.
doesn't seem right. I think I messed up.
Just a bit. Colors are one of the hardest things to create. There's so many of them after all, and not everyone sees them the same as each other. Perhaps Iris can help. Do you hear me, Iris? I think you can help her. In fact, I know you can. Give her a little push.
Iris, it's okay. I think that's a no.
No. Ah. Tell me what they are saying, Sakoto.
They don't ever say anything. All I can
Then
do
tell me
is-
what they are feeling.
I think they're a bit intimidated. We've never tried anything like this before.
I see. A bit nervous, are we, Iris? That's fine. Completely fine. I don't want to stress you too badly. But this is proof that you both have it in you. All we need is the finishing touches. And a bit of cooperation. And confidence.
Maybe we just try it once. Okay? Come on, Iris. I'm not sure if they want to make up their mind. I think they're a bit upset that I'm pushing them.
Oh.
This is a start, though. I've been nervous to create such things. We've an attempt to.
More than a start. A door. Similar to water. To a screen. Creating a door in one's mind. Very difficult. Dare I say, if it was finished, it would lead somewhere.
Oh. Wait, you can just create them.
Yes. I do not wish to push them. All in good time, after all. We have all the time in the world. This is a wonderful start. I believe with practice, you can fill this up to the brim. All manner of things, both simple and not.
Perhaps.
I do have a question for you, Sakoto. What do you think happens when you create such things in another person's mind?
I don't know. I've never tried to create anything large in someone else's mind. And the few times that I did was something small. Dagger. Or my mask.
Objects of smallness, sure, but such things can be quite large.
What do you mean?
It does not matter what size it is. It could be the smallest of things, and it could change someone's mind permanently.
What? You mean that these small things that I am making... I thought maybe they wouldn't. I didn't want to change anyone's mind.
And I'm sure you didn't. I'm sure they've been completely fine, unchanged. But it is how you use them in the mind that's important. Like this. For instance, I locked away a memory of mine deep within. Something simple, representing a past remembrance. A token. Imagine if you were to make it there and replace it with another.
It could change someone.
I would be forever changed. That entire memory.
I think I saw someone trying to do that once. I'm not sure if they did or not. Some time ago there was someone in a friend's mind. They were... not kind people that were causing trouble at the meat truck. I'm not sure what they are, but I know they're not human. Strange creatures. Undead, I think. But one of them got into this friend's mind, and they were in deep. We managed to get them out, but ever since then she's been a bit off. Almost wanting to return to these people. It's taken us some time to convince her not to.
Common signs of a mind changed, whether by action or themselves. how about you take me to your own binary mindscape? Use the store you've created. Don't worry about the color, but imagine your mindscape beyond it. Imagine that it leads there, and I and the others will follow.
Others?
Others? Are you aware of them?
Yes, I am. I trust them. Wasn't sure if you meant someone else, though. They tend to take interest when I start doing things like this.
I believe I trust them as well.
Hmm. It's okay, work with me. She will attempt to connect it to her mindscape. As the door cracks open.
It's a interesting feeling, hopping from one scape to another. Like stepping over a deep abyss. That feeling of butterflies in your stomach as the door opens to a bright, snowy white. Beautiful. And bravo. You're natural, Sakoto. Absolute natural. I will ask you again, as I want your acceptance and trust. Am I allowed in?
Just, please don't touch things. Although some things I'm certain you will recognize.
After you, dear. I will follow.
How is the passage of time right now? Is this all in a blink?
I'd say probably over the course of a couple minutes.
Okay. Penny would be waiting probably another hour before reaching out again.
Okay. Okie dokie.
From contempt, they would step into a different feeling.
Calm. Not quite melancholic, but not quite happy either. Content, if anything. But a certain nostalgia underneath it all. A longing.
Roger. Cards up in 3, 2, 1. Snow or ash?
Snow. I grew up on a mountain where there was often snow. Only a few months of the year did we ever see grass.
I believe I'm imagining it now. Beautiful place. A calm to it.
Well, this isn't it. Certainly reminds me of it.
Quite lovely, Sakoto.
Thank you.
Tell me, how did you create it? And how long?
It took a while to find. But each time I've come to it, as I do often, it became easier and easier. Now I come here almost every day. This is what I see when I close my eyes. I guess I created it. I'm not sure.
Well, of course you did. Who else could have?
I guess this is to say, I did not create it with intention. It just sort of happened.
Powerful, is it not, the subconscious? We fabricate entire worlds in dreams and nightmares without us even trying. This is not just psionic, but everyone who can dream.
I haven't dreamed in many years now. But
You dreamt this, Sakoto?
suppose I've never tried to come here when I sleep. Maybe I should try.
Do you mind if I explore a bit? I won't touch anything, don't worry.
Sure. It's okay. Goes too far, I'm sure. Kurigari-san will try to step in. Come on. We have to stay calm. I know. Maybe he can tell us some more things. It is risky, I know. But if we are calm about this, it will be okay.
Distant trouble. Archways.
Because I never really think of them as rubble. Many of the arches were always toppled over, partway, as the snow would shift. The ground beneath it.
Curious. You are content with this?
Which reminds me of home. And home was where I was content. Aris, come on. Making this very difficult.
But what about your aspirations, Sakoto? This could be a grand city, a paradise you could create.
I guess I've never really wanted to create something like that. I always found big cities kind of scary anyways.
They're not a city. A view of the horizon. Or the ocean. A valley from the mountaintop.
Or the path along it. What I have here.
With a tree and a place to sit.
It is simple, I suppose, but I guess I have always found it enough. I have never tried to go deeper than this either, and never really felt the need to. I have curiosity, I suppose, as well, but not necessary.
Not necessary.
I come here
Do you remember? Apologies, go on.
I'm just saying, I come here to think, to meditate, to keep myself calm. And that is enough.
Hmm. I think I'm believing to understand you, Sakoto. You're very interesting to me. I've seen thousands and thousands of the thin layers of people's minds. You wouldn't believe what I've seen. Some very demented, others quite humble, others entire worlds built. Their goals displayed out front for me to see. But you, a simple, elegant pathway to a bench and a tree.
Guess if anything, it is just a reminder. That's why I don't really feel the need to change it. I think it's a memory.
And you spoke a memory. A powerful one.
It was. Is? I think, yes. Still is.
Is this a binary or immersive mindscape, Sakoto? First test. You better get it right.
Binary. No, it's not real. I've never been here before in my life. But the parts that make it are real. This is the same one from before.
Bingo.
Should make you make something
Correct.
that is important.
And I am aware that we are here. I'm acting as normal, not immersed within. He's holding a small figurine in his hand. It looks like him. You like my toy?
Looks a lot like you.
I'm no toy maker, but I think it captures my image splendidly. Your second test, Sakoto. What will you do with that?
Not sure. No one has ever tried to make something in my mind before.
That, Sakoto, is an idea. Of my own making.
What sort of idea?
An idea of grandeur, of course.
Grandeur.
Will you leave it there? This is your mind, after all. You can destroy it. Before it becomes something else. Unless, of course, you want the idea. Like a seed, it will grow. Become one with you. You'll have ideas of grandeur then.
And I'm not really fond of grandeur. I like to live a simple life.
Then what will you do with it?
You wish for me to destroy it?
Of course not. I would want nothing more for you to keep it here, safe on the bench. Of course. This is your choice,
you
though.
already exist here, though, don't you? Here in my memories. I don't have to go far to see you. Perhaps rather than grandeur, someone else's grandeur, their ideas. It's not a bad idea.
Someone else's.
Yours, of course. That is your idea. And while it is one to consider, perhaps... something to keep it safe. As it shouldn't be forgotten, it's not a terrible idea to want to make good things for other people. Right?
Of course.
May I? Right, however, you'll begin to imagine a small marble column on top of which sits a small pillow surrounded by a glass box, something like you would see in a museum.
From the snow emerges such a pedestal. The glass box, almost like it was there hidden beneath.
something to keep your ideas safe. Because I don't think it's such a bad one. That way I can also remember to keep your lessons in mind.
I am honored, Sakoto.
The honor is mine. It is something you made.
And what a beautiful keeping place for it. I could kiss you, but I won't.
I would prefer that, thank you.
I remember your bubble. Even if we are sharing in memories and minds. Very intimate. Of course, it's more than just us. I'm surprised they haven't shown themselves.
Not sure. Maybe they're still trying to figure out you. They seem to like to play their games.
Perhaps. I think we would get along just fine then. Looks like I have some work cut out for me.
What do you mean?
Not only earning your trust, but theirs, and Iris's.
See.
Thank you for this, granting my wish.
Thank you for the lesson.
I hardly did a thing. You are far more along than I thought you were.
We have to be respectful.
We will do more. If my schedule allows it, and you wish it, I will teach you many different things. The caverns of the mind are limitless. And the things you can learn and discover, the power you could wield. Summoning very fire to your hands, ice, light. Levitating things, controlling one's thoughts from a mere glance. I will teach you everything that I know and can, as much as I can.
See. I will be happy to listen to your experience.
Excellent, dear. I'll leave it to you if you want to tell Hezekiah. I don't want to seem like you're cheating on your master. This is merely a humble hobbyist activity for us, you know, from like-minded individuals to another. as I'm sure he has much left to teach you as well.
He's trying his best. And given he does not possess this power as we do, it is incredibly kind of him to try as he does.
That's the paladin in him. However, his teachings will plateau.
He is worried about as much. But I think he still has more to teach me, more than I think he even understands, or I understand.
Now, I don't want to keep a young lady like you all night. Shall we get back to the penthouse?
Sure.
Lead away, lest I get lost in your mind.
Well, I think they have already opened the door.
Ah.
The door's closed. Sakoto, you can sense someone on the other side.
Mm. There is someone else. I can't tell who.
Someone else? Besides our little tours with us?
Possibly. Perhaps she is being waited to be invited in? I guess she will attempt to open it.
Oh, the door will open. Step through.
I couldn't hear you, Neko. What did you say?
The person on the other side of the door can step through.
Ah, okay. I don't know who that is. Oh, I think I know who it is.
Oh, look at that! Penny.
Yeah.
Hello,
Yeah.
dear.
Hi.
Interesting. You made a link without me knowing. Impressive. Very impressive. You didn't tell me you can mind a link. Are you hiding anything else from me?
There are a number of things that I know. Talking with others. Nearby is one thing I have learned to do, yes.
Wonderful. How are you, dear?
I'm fine. Yeah, just
Good.
hanging out.
Hanging out, Tom. You know, you could have came inside. I would have accepted.
I don't understand.
The penthouse, I mean.
Hmm.
Three's a company, after all.
Yeah, Corpo Tech, I bet.
Hmm.
Or guess that makes sense.
What does it feel like, Penny? This link of yours. Now multiple, an entire thread of minds linked together.
Not much new. It's just I'm here, I guess. Just Sakoto let me in, so
We've practiced this before. Contagious. She sits and meditates with me, and sometimes we come here.
yeah, I've been practicing the meditation stuff and yeah, trying to clear my head. Sakoto's a good help.
Hmm.
Hmm.
So, how does it feel for you?
It feels wonderful. Though I am curious, why the need?
I had told her I was leaving, was going out for a bit. It said that you had invited me. If you had wanted to come, I would have asked.
I was this side of town getting dinner, so I was like, I'll just wait. When you get out,
See,
go back with you.
maybe it was just an accident then. I'm still kind of new to this.
Yeah, happy accident.
I see. Since you both have mind linked before, there have been instances where minds have accidentally touched.
Wondered for a time if it is possible to reach out to someone's mind even if you can't directly see them. I found I have trouble with this. I need to be able to see the person, to be close. Once this link is created, it can be stretched incredibly far.
It is like gum, to put it plainly.
Hmm.
It does have a reach, but the more you stretch it, the more elastic it gets.
I was sort of inspired by you. One of the few times you reached out.
You remember. Good.
I would never forget such a thing.
It is no mind link, but I can reach you whenever I want. Of course, you can block me out, anyone else, if you predict its arrival. It is much like a sending spell, but of psionic qualities.
I am familiar with this then, yes.
Something you can learn. Perhaps one of the most earliest ways. Of course, there are phones still, and science is up to date. But there is instances where technology is inoperable. And such things can be very useful.
And think of a situation of a friend who's not very good with phones. Well, suppose you're waiting outside then, yes?
I guess so. I mean, usually
Wow.
wake up where I was, so.
Well, hopefully you're not in too much trouble. Yes, if our lesson is done, then perhaps I will be on my way.
Very well. Shall we?
Sakoto's home, so she says get out, I get out.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
We'll push Penny out.
Neko, will it work?
There's some resistance at first. Something holding her. And then she's released.
Do you think she wants to learn? I could accept a second. Of course, it would take me more effort to teach both of you.
You are already so busy, especially with everything as of late. Would not want to burden you. I don't believe she has this same gift.
We'll see. A friend of you is a friend of mine, of course, and Penny is lovely, and has been quite the help.
I'll be sure to ask her about it, see if she would be interested. Aziz, are you ready?
Ready and raring, Sakoto. Cast me out.
I try not to think of it like that. Push him out. Or at least attempt to. Okay. Sorry, Iris. Alright, Al?
Cards down.
Yep. Chaos.
Chaos. Good stuff. Did you want to do an after scene, or for brevity's sake, you want to have
if you
her head
want
out?
to, otherwise, yeah, she'll probably just, thank him for the lesson, thank him for inviting her, and then make her way out. Albeit a little bit wet.
Okay.
So.
They'll wake up in the pool, exactly where they were, and the two will part ways. And she'll meet Penny somewhere nearby, outside of the building.
I have so many questions.